Have you ever wanted to bring your chat conversations into life in a Roblox studio game? Well, now you can by transforming your chat into in-game actions. This step-by-step guide will teach you how to use functions in Roblox studio games to take chat conversations into action. Let's get started. Alrighty, to start, you're going to go into starter player over here, open that up, and inside of starter character scripts, go ahead and add in a new local script with a little plus. Anyways, inside of the script, let's actually start coding here. So how we're going to get the system to display messages and to tell if someone says a message that we want to run a function off of it is we need to actually create a function for that. So I'm going to say, first let's start with a variable. Well, we're going to get our player, which will be equal to game.players.localPlayer, and then we can say player.chatted, and we're going to connect a function to that, and this function will take the parameter of text. Now we can say if text equals to something like hi server, then we can go ahead and run any code we want inside of this. I'm going to put a little thing here that will basically grab our server and tell it to send a message. So if you want to do that, you can type in game.starterGUI, and we're going to say set core, and this will be equal to chat may system message, and then we can put a comma after these quotation marks and say, with a squiggly brackets right there, say text equals to quotation marks, and I'm gonna put brackets right here to indicate that it's something special. I'm gonna say server, and then another bracket right there, and then we can go ahead and say hi. Back outside here, I'm gonna put 2 dots and say our player.name. So this will say hi, and then whoever said hi server. So it'll basically just be saying hi back to them. Now we need to actually change the properties of the text. So outside of those parentheses and outside of there, we can just put another comma right there. And this is where we get to choose the color of the text. I'm going to say color will be equal to color3.new. Not new, let's go from RGB. So now we have a wider range of colors. So you can either put in all of your things here and choose the color that way, or you'll see that there's a little color wheel right here that you can click on, and that'll open a brand new color palette, and you can choose whatever color you want to use. I'm just gonna do something like bright green, like that, and it'll automatically put it right in there for you. Now we just put another comma here, and we get to choose the font. I'm going to equal this to enum.font, and then we get to choose any font that we want inside of here. I'm gonna do Fredoka 1, and now we just put another comma after that, and now we get to choose the font size. So this is very customizable in case you haven't noticed. This will be equal to enum.font_size. I'm gonna put it at size 28. Something like that. Yeah, this is basically our code for that. So let's go ahead and test it. So I'm in the game now. If I say hi server exactly as you put it in the code, it should say hi Rusty Silly Band. One thing I forgot to do though inside of our script is that right here we need to put the quotation marks with a space, more quotation marks, and then our player.name. This will basically just put a space in between hi and the player's name. So now when we say hi server again, it'll say back with hi Rusty Silly Band, and you can change the text or whatever you want it to say. So now let's get into the fun part. Let's say you want a big chicken to rain from the sky, chicken nuggets and ketchup or whatever else you wanted to see. Well, let's go ahead and get our chicken. So I'm just gonna go into the toolbox for this. You can feel free to use your own models. I'm gonna search for a chicken here, and I'm just gonna grab this chicken. So I'm gonna scale this guy up quite a bit. I'm just gonna move him up, and that should be good. Now we need a cloud for him to stand on, so I'm just gonna search for a cloud. This one looks pretty good. Bring it up to the chicken. If we can find where it went, I'm just going to customize this. I'll be right back when I'm done. But yeah, I'm gonna make sure to give the credit to the people who made this chicken and this cloud. They're very nice chickens and clouds. Anyways, inside of this chicken model, I'm just gonna take the chicken part from there. I'm gonna get rid of the thumbnail camera and the chicken model itself. Now I'm going to put the chicken inside of replicated storage as well as with the cloud. So inside of our script we can say, so right after our server message I'm going to say else if text equals to I'm hungry. Something simple like this. Then we can go ahead and say local clone, just like that. And we can also get our local chicken, which will be equal to game.replicated storage wait for child chicken. So now what we're going to do is we're going to say local cloud. We need to get our cloud too, so we're going to say game.replicated storage wait for child cloud again. Same thing with the chicken. We're going to need something to rain from the sky. So inside of the toolbox, I'm also going to go ahead and search for a chicken nugget. That is a very nice chicken nugget. Shout out to fried chicken. So I'm going to put the chicken nugget, just gonna rename it so I can find it easier inside of replicated storage. And inside the local script, let's say local chicken nugget will be equal to game.replicated storage wait for child chicken nugget. So now this is where the fun part comes in. We're gonna say for I equals to 1, and then we're gonna count up to 15 with an increment of 1, and we're gonna tell it to do this. We're going to grab our clone, which will be equal to chicken nugget clone, and then we're going to grab our chicken, and then we're going to take its C frame. We're going to equal this to player.character wait for child humanoid root part dot C frames right outside of here, and then we're going to plus that to vector3.new. I'm going to put 0, 50, 0, and we're going to basically do the same thing with the cloud. So I'm going to just take all of this, copy it, and say cloud, paste that in. But then I'm going to move this down to something like 30. And we can do the exact same thing with the chicken actually. So we'll just say that. Another thing, you want to make sure your cloud and your chicken are both anchored, or whatever you're using this with, just so that they don't follow the sky, but make sure that your chicken nugget isn't anchored. And then we can just say right up here before we move them to clone.parent will be equal to workspace, and up here we can also say chicken.parent will be equal to workspace and cloud.parent will be equal to workspace. Now another thing in our for loop is we're going to want a little wait symbol. Not symbol, but syntax right there, so that will make sure that it doesn't spew out all 15 chicken nuggets at once. And let's go ahead and test this. So basically what we just coded there is we told the chicken nugget to clone itself 15 times, and we also told the chicken and the cloud to move in unison with each other over the player. So it'll look like the chicken and the cloud are constantly following the player, and the chicken nuggets will constantly rain on top of the player, if that makes sense. And it's all gonna happen as soon as a player says I'm hungry. As you can see, the chicken will rain out of the sky. It'll start raining chicken nuggets, and if you stand still for too long, then you'll probably get rained on chicken nuggets. Now we can definitely add to this by going back into our local script, and we can say else if our text equals to now if only I had some dipping sauce. I think you know where I'm going with this. Then we're basically going to do the same thing now, but with some ketchup. I'm going to name this to ketchup, get rid of anything inside of here unless it's a mesh, and move it into replicated storage as well. Now we just create a little variable for our ketchup. So I'm going to say local ketchup will be equal to game.replicated storage wait for child ketchup. And now we need another clone, so I'm going to say local clone 2 right up there. Now we can copy this for loop and paste it down here. But before we do that, the one thing I realized that we need to actually go ahead and paste all these variables up here outside of the function. Just like that, that way they're global and anyone can use them. And now we can copy this for loop. So inside of our if statement, we can say if chicken.parent is equal to workspace, then we can go ahead and do this, but make sure you put 2 equal signs right there. So now we're saying that if the chicken is in the workspace and someone has already said I'm hungry, then that's where we're gonna go ahead and copy this for loop. I did forget to copy the for, so I'm gonna just type this in again. So for I equals to 1 comma from 15 with an increment of 1 do. Now we can just cut this and paste into here. Now we don't want it to rain chicken nuggets again, so we're going to say clone 2 will be equal to ketchup clone 2.parent equals to workspace, and clone 2.cframe will be equal to this, and our chicken will start moving as well. Now after this for loop, we're going to say chicken.parent will be equal to game.replicated storage just to move it back when it's done. And we can do the same thing with the cloud, just saying cloud.parent will be equal to game.replicated storage. Just something simple like this. And now when we go ahead and play it, we can test it. So as you can see, when I type now if only I had some dipping sauce, nothing will happen, as you can see. But if we go ahead and type in I'm hungry, as you can see, the chicken will rain above us and chicken nuggets will start to rain everywhere, which is exactly what we wanted to happen. But now that the chicken nuggets are done, you'll see our chicken will stay there until we type in now if only I had some dipping sauce. Now as you can see, it'll start raining ketchup from the sky that you have to dodge in order to survive, and as soon as it's done, the chicken will disappear and you're left with way too much ketchup and way too many chicken nuggets. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video as much as I did, make sure you like and subscribe down below. Comment your ideas and other things that you have down below. Goodbye.